I'm gonna do what Mayday couldn't. I'm going to destroy Gilead with what it values most. I'm going to create my own army, because nothing can be more powerful than a teenage girl.
Are we gonna finally see baby Nichole, who should be like 5 or 6 years old or something like that? Maybe 7. I think 6. Or are they just gonna say that one of those was baby Nichole, but they're not gonna show more than that?
You welcome us, wouldn't you?
Hey. Oh, hey.
Nice to meet you.
Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown and I am back with the Season 1 finale of The Testaments. This episode is called Secateurs, which the last episode is about what I thought this one would be about. So, I'm assuming this episode will be covering the aftermath. What is going to happen to Becca? How is this going to affect all their friends? And what are they going to do to try to help her in a way that Gilead is not likely to ever help? Now, I do want to address one thing I noticed at the end. Not the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, when I did my reaction, I did not realize it. It didn't occur to me. I was so distraught and I was so messed up. I was not recognizing the people that were grabbing Becca all were females. Like, I noticed the masks. I noticed the long cloak that could be worn by a male or a female, and we don't ever know with these eyes. Eyes in Gilead have been portrayed multiple ways, and even though some people talk like they're mainly only shown in one kind of outfit, I'm pretty sure that throughout the show we've seen them in a variety of different outfits. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're in long black jackets. But when I was going back through the end of the episode, I noticed that all of the people that were in those black outfits all seemed to have breasts. Definitely their outfits were shaped for their breasts on the top of their body, intentionally made that way. When I was in the army, most of our outfits looked like they were made for men. The only thing that didn't seem to be was our jacket. Our jacket was made to fit our bodies, and they made sure there was a noticeable curvature up at the top, and that is how these were made, with a nice little curvature up at the top for any boobs that they need to cover up. Granted, not all females have those, but that doesn't change the fact that all of those outfits were made for that kind of body shape. I've also been hearing a lot throughout this series from fans online that they think something is up with Garth. He seems off, that they think he might be a double agent, which I would say that anybody that is stationed in Gilead and is working with Mayday would be considered a double agent. They are working for both organizations. So the sentiment seems to be that people think that he is loyal to Gilead and not loyal to Mayday. I don't agree. I think he is loyal to Mayday and not Gilead. He would still be a double agent. He is working both sides, much like Nick was working both sides. Yes, I know they have intentionally created this character to kind of parallel Nick in many ways, but I do think that Garth actually intends to take Gilead down. I don't think that Garth is actually on Gilead's side. Whereas Nick, at the beginning, he seemed kind of neutral, but he always had been involved with Gilead in major ways. He didn't climb up the ladder the way he did from doing nothing. We found out later on in the series from Serena that he had been pivotal in some of the early battles that Gilead had taken care of. And we definitely didn't know that early on. But there were little signs. There were little signs that things were going on. Either way, I don't think that Garth is that into Gilead. I think he has respect for his dad, and he has a certain amount of respect for the system that he was raised up in. He grew up in this, and he thinks most likely that some of this is the normal course of things. From what I heard on an interview with the actor that plays him, he had been kind of going along with all the Gilead stuff until they put him in charge of being a guardian with some of these girls. When he noticed some of the stuff that was going on with girls, That's when he said that shit was off, that it was messed up, and that he couldn't support that kind of thing. Is that the only thing involved? I don't know. I doubt it. I suspect there's other reasons that he wants to take Gilead down, but I can see how learning the differences between how they bring up these girls versus how they bring up these boys, when you were a boy living that life the whole time, and then all of a sudden you find out that the girls in your life are being raised completely different, and especially he's a little bit older than Agness. So he's going to retain some of the memories from what it was before. So I could definitely see how finding out those differences and finding out the kinds of things that these girls are going through, the expectations that are being pushed on them, that might disillusion him enough to be like, no, this is wrong. This is not right. And the reality that he doesn't know who June is, that doesn't surprise me at all. I know it surprises some of you because you're like, oh my God, everybody in Gilead knows who June is. Everybody in Mayday knows who June is. But I don't think so. I think we believe that because we've seen so much of her inner story. So in her circle, that message is going to be very overwhelming. That people are looking for you, that people are after you, that these people know you. The people in Mayday, in her circles, are going to know her. And yes, there will be some people outside of her circles that will have heard of her, but that doesn't mean that everybody in Mayday will have heard of her. That doesn't mean everybody in Gilead will have heard of her. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, the commanders would have known about her. But that's not necessarily true. Listen to what these commanders say when they're talking to each other. Listen to what they say when they're talking to guardians, when they're talking to eyes. They don't usually address specific names. They're like, Mayday this, Mayday that, rioters this, the people that are against us. They don't often speak a lot of individual names. And we know that the ants know this stuff. Specific files on all the girls that pass through their hands. They get files on all the commanders that they're trying to match up with handmaids or wives or whatever. And yes, some of the commanders get those files too, but I don't think they all do. And I suspect that individual files are only going to go to a small group of commanders, meaning mostly those commanders that were right there in the area she was stationed, in Boston. And remember, Boston was taken over. Almost all the commanders in Boston were killed. So most of the leadership that had access to those files, not there anymore. And we don't know where all those files are. I'm sure that Mackenzie had information about June. I'm sure there were a couple other very high-ranking commanders that had information about June, but that doesn't mean that they're spilling the peas to everybody else around them. That doesn't mean that every commander is hearing it, and it doesn't mean that those commanders are hearing her name on her birth certificate. They called her a Fred. They might often be calling her a Fred and not even use the term June. And in Mayday, sometimes you have to go by a different name. It appears that June is using her right name, but we don't know. She may be using a cover name through Mayday. I'm pretty sure in the books that's what it said, is that she was using a cover, because you don't want everybody knowing who you are and where you are, making it easier for you to be found when you know that people in Gilead are after you. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest because I think a lot of people are really hounding on Garth because of the way he behaves. But I want to remind all of you, he is a very young man. He's not a teenager. He's in his early 20s from what I understand, but that's still very young. He doesn't know all the shit going on. He is not going to be in a high enough position in Gilead or in Mayday to know very much. He's just not. And he's being raised in a very freaking narrow-minded society that expects everything to be done a certain way and expects these men to step up in a certain way. In a certain way that I guarantee most men right now, today, would be unlikely to want to step up. And I wouldn't blame them. Would you want to step up in that way? Probably not, unless you were part of Gilead, unless you were part of these people that really think that this is the way to go. A lot of young people have very passionate opinions. When you're that age, it's tends to fucking light a fire in your belly. But that doesn't mean he's going to know how to act and he's going to know what to do and he's going to know all the information. We've seen that Mayday can be very, very messy, very, very bad communication, not know what's going on, sometimes come up with shit on the fly that doesn't make sense, especially if frickin' June is involved. But we also have seen that Mayday doesn't like there to be a lot of people that know exactly what is going on. So if they have a cover person in Gilead that is trying to help Mayday, they're not going to want that person to know where a whole bunch of different people in Mayday are and all the different things that are going on in Mayday. They're going to want them to know just a couple little things, because if they get caught, they will be tortured. Gilead will be likely to get information from them and or kill them. And the less information that they have, the less information they can get. I think people complained about him not having charisma with Agness, not being passionate. Like, I don't think he has those feelings for her. If those feelings grow eventually, I don't think he's feeling them now. I think right now he's trying to do his job and he's trying to protect her, and maybe he cares about her a little bit, but I don't think he cares about her in that way. So he's not going to have a bunch of romantic chemistry with a girl that he doesn't feel that way about. He's trying to help. He's trying to keep these girls secure, help take care of them in the way he's been trained to. And even the stuff with him talking to Daisy in not the nicest way, I highly, highly suspect that Daisy gets on his nerves. That she comes in there like a fucking tornado, like a bat out of hell. And she wants everything. She wants all the information. She wants to do things. She wants to get up and go. And the information's not there. The messages aren't there. The jobs aren't, like, whatever it is that she's even supposed to be there for isn't told to her. She's basically told to fucking listen, to pay attention, bring them information when she has it. And for her, because she is like a little tornado, that's not enough for her. And when he got mad about her pretending to be sexually assaulted by that guy, in my opinion, that's because he knew that all hell was going to break loose. That there would be hell to pay for a lot of people and a lot of those girls that he's been trying to protect. I don't blame him. She is like a storm coming through in his life and he doesn't know what to do with it. He's used to these Gilead people that are all taught to button up, keep their mouths shut, act a certain way, never fucking state your opinion, just follow the fucking lead and do what you're told, which you hear it when he's talking to her. You're supposed to do what you're told. Listen and do what you're told. Because that's what he's used to. That is what he's been raised up in. Even these boys have to do what they're told to an extent. Yes, we see plenty of commanders that are doing shit they're not supposed to be doing. But most of the time, they're doing it behind closed doors. Or they're doing it with other men that also are doing shit behind closed doors that they don't want other people to know about. It's not stuff that they're just doing right in front of everybody, except for Jezebel's. But Jezebel's was something that it appears that the upper ranks of Gilead had sanctioned. So even though the women didn't know about it, the men definitely did, and the men were definitely using it. They even were letting people from other countries use it. And there are a lot of fucking hypocritical things that go on in Gilead where they say, oh, this is illegal, this isn't allowed, you could get hung for it, and yet we'll see people doing it, certain people, whereas everybody else doesn't get away with it, because there's always hypocrisy in leadership. And that's what that is. And there's hypocrisy throughout every freaking organization and system and regime. Anyway, I think I've been talking long enough. I know I'm going on, but I had stuff on my mind that I really needed to get off my chest. So sorry, but not sorry. Last episode was a lot. It was so much. And I've said that already. I know I have, but good God. I was just so distressed after that episode. I was so distressed during the episode. Anyway, let's see what they're going to do. Let's see how things are going to go. Let's see how much more information we are going to get before this season ends. And it has been picked up for a second season, but we don't know when it's going to be back on. I know a lot of people are complaining about the shortness of the episodes, the shortness of the season. 10 episodes right now for a season of almost any show, I would say is not short. I've seen a lot of seasons of series that are like between 6 and 8 episodes. So 10, I think, is okay. Yes, I understand that the 30-something minute episodes are pissing people off. I get that. I do, but I'm still okay with it. Even some of the longer TV shows, a lot of times are around 45 minutes, so you're only getting 15 minutes extra, 10 minutes extra. The really long ones are around an hour, sometimes a little longer than an hour, but then you have to also include time for commercials and stuff like that. But it did not bother me, not really at all, that it was around 35, 38 minutes long each. I think that's around the time that A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was per episode. And people really loved that show. Agatha All Along, people loved that show too. And all of those had fairly short episodes. As long as they can include a decent amount of stuff. And I know some of this stuff drags. That is the way it is meant to go. Even if it's only a half hour and it drags in places, it's because they're trying to get you to look beyond just the surface. Trying to get you to see that there's stuff going on underneath all this pretty stuff that looks like something from Bridgerton. I mean, even Bridgerton has underlying shit going on under the surface that wouldn't be appealing to people in our day and time. Yes, they try to make it look a little bit like Bridgerton because you're talking about the upper echelons of their society, the most privileged people in this society. And so they get the benefits of those privileges. They also get the drawbacks of those privileges because believe me, having that kind of attention on you, being expected to be prim and proper and follow all the rules and look a certain way all the freaking time, every time you're out in public, that can be stressful. It can be a lot. Even if you're not top of the class or top of your society, been in a situation like that where you're expected to be just on your best behavior, you're expected to look sharp all the time, you're expected to follow everything to a T, it can be very, very stressful. And that's what these girls have to deal with all the time. I mean, you've seen Agness, she can't even freaking go to sleep without somebody fucking showing up in the middle of the night. I'm not even talking about Becca, I'm talking about freaking Lydia. Just showing up in the middle of the night while she's sleeping. Like she couldn't even have one of Agnes's parents go and get her and bring her down. That's freaky. That is like a level of invasion of privacy that I definitely would not ever want to deal with. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this episode started.
Blessings on Rebecca Grove to marry soon-to-be Commander Chapin.
That ain't gonna happen.
I did tell her. What's she gonna do about it?
Not a damn thing.
How do you know? He did it to me. I thought you were sending her to the doctor. No! Agnes!
She's got to wake up to the reality of everything that happened that night. What is it?
After it was all over, I found the coroner's report. The following autopsy was performed. The body is that of an adult white Christian male. Multiple sharp force injuries caused by an edge weapon. Multiple stab wounds of lower extremities, including genitalia, from 1 to 4 inches deep, indicating a spirited attacker.
What is happening with you and Becca? My mom told our Martha that there's a scandal brewing.
It's none of your blessed business.
She doesn't want to talk about it.
You know what it is?
Shoo. butt the fuck out.
Agness? Agness, what's going on? Agness, are you okay?
Gather in the dining hall at once. Please make your way.
Rise and shine. Give God the glory, glory. Children of the Lord.
Margaret Atwood.
Don't agitate her. Dear child. Have you eaten? Those aren't necessary. Take them off. We will sort this out, dear.
There's writing all over the walls in there.
Aunt Lydia, Commander is here.
And Gilead. They did nothing to cover it up.
What are we going to do about Rebecca?
We're not going to do anything. She murdered her father. A man of Gilead was slain by a woman.
He was to be executed.
It's of very little relevance now.
So she is to be sacrificed.
I'm sure the Red Center will be happy to have her.
A handmaid?
The court will dictate her fate.
No, we can't let that happen.
There is no we anymore. Blessed day, Aunt Lydia.
I have some sad news. It is regarding one of our own, Rebecca Grove. She will no longer be attending school for the foreseeable future due to the untimely passing of her father, Dr. Grove. Of course, our prayers are with the Grove family. Let us offer the comfort of the Lord. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. For without him,
Is she all right?
You shouldn't be out here.
Where'd they take her? You said she was going to the doctor. Tell me where she is.
It's a holding facility for women. I don't know where it is.
She was screaming!
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Agnes, get your hands off of her.
Can't you see she's upset?
You unhand her right now.
You know what happened to her friend. Show some grace. Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I were to tell Aunt Lydia about this, you would be thrown out of the school on your ear.
Have some fucking eyes and a goddamn heart. You have no need to tell anybody about it.
Snap out of it, please.
And you can see she's fucking distraught. How could you expect anything else?
Are you okay?
Seriously.
Where's Becca?
She was taken by the eyes.
Out! No! Out! Get out! Right now! Come on!
She came to my house covered in blood.
Whose blood?
And it was all over her.
What did she do? What's going to happen to her? The eyes took her.
We're never gonna see her again.
Maybe they'll show her mercy.
They don't show mercy. Ever. We're gonna have to do something then.
You're right.
Wait, Agnes? What are you doing to help Becca?
Not the right person to talk to.
I know the eyes took her. What are you doing to protect Becca?
Come with me, please.
Okay, some people think she might be working with Mayday. I doubt it, but maybe we'll find out. I don't know.
What is she doing? Sacking the fuck up. Being brave. Tell Aunt Cabana I had to go to the nurse's office.
With what?
I'll say it's cramps. Go.
Agnes, you must understand. God is our refuge and our strength. He's the only one who can save Becca.
No, that's not good enough. You are the instrument of God. You have to do something.
There's nothing I can do.
Then you lied to us.
Agness.
You said if we obeyed you, if we obeyed God, you would guide us and protect us.
And did Becca obey the Lord?
She was doing God's will, as you taught us. Blessed are those who thirst for justice, for they shall be satisfied. By his hand. If she was led astray, you did it.
I will pray for Rebecca.
And praying will do not a damn thing.
I prayed for Becca too.
Especially in your fucking Gilead.
I prayed she might have someone to defend her.
Okay. All right. What are you doing?
All right, you know what? You can't just talk to me whenever you want. It's too risky.
Mayday needs to help Becca.
There's nothing I can do.
Becca's gonna get executed. Do you even care? You're the man with the gun.
What?
And you can't do anything? I will.
And how do you plan on doing that?
By not sitting on my ass.
You're just gonna get yourself killed, and me, and a lot of other Mayday operatives.
Okay by me. I can't just do nothing.
And I was thinking in the last episode that he looked like he wants to wash his hands of her, which I wrote on the video. But all I can think is, who's his handler? He's going to go to his handler saying he wants to wash his hand of her. What's his handler going to say?
I know that Rebecca's a dear friend of Agness. I was just hoping that I could offer some comfort.
Huh.
Perhaps we could have some tea.
Of course.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I appreciate your concern.
And I appreciate that you didn't answer my question. My concerns are your concerns, and your concerns are mine.
Right. What are you going to do about it?
Do you mean that?
Of course I do.
What are you going to do about it?
Can you help her?
Becca broke the laws of God.
But her father broke the laws of God first.
It doesn't excuse her taking justice into her own hands.
Would it matter if she was doing it to protect her future wife?
I don't understand.
I was one of the girls he hurt.
I'm so sorry. Do your parents know?
No.
Thank you for being honest with me. I will do whatever I can for your friend.
Which is probably a lot of nothing.
Thank you.
And probably harm her too in the process.
For all you Mayday operatives out there, turn your dial to 101.6.
And this is for the Shepherd. I got your message. Let's take care of our loose cannon tonight.
This is for the Shepherd. Let's take care of our loose cannon.
This one's busted.
Is Daisy the loose cannon? I wouldn't just leave that paper with writing on it all over the ground.
Oh, my baby!
Mrs. Grove, you need to understand this is only temporary. Your daughter will be questioned in a few days and then remanded to the state. Until then, you'll have 24-hour surveillance.
Thank you for bringing her home. I'm sorry, Mom.
Bill's attending. Yeah, I'm betting Daisy is loose cannon, and Garth is trying to have something done about her because she threatened to whatever.
The other side. Get in. If it gets cold, it'll be a few hours.
You want me to get in here?
Yeah, there's enough room to curl up.
Unless I'm wrong and he actually is trying to do something, but god damn it.
Look, if we get stopped, don't make any noise. Even if you hear voices, okay? Wash your fingers.
Lord have mercy. Is he having her taken back over to Canada? Is that June? Oh god, oh god.
Hi, Daisy. Holy shit. How good is you? I knew you'd step up. Are you gonna get Becca out?
No, we're getting you out.
What?
No, that's not what I want to do anymore.
You haven't been listening to your handler, Daisy. You've been threatening Mayday and you become a liability.
We are going to win, but you cannot put the people who are fighting for that at risk just because you think one person is special. I'm not just gonna give up on them, like you.
Come on, June, you know you've been every bit as stubborn.
I'm trying to fight to save these girls, and you're telling me not to. You cannot save them yet. They don't know they need saving. Let me try. If you knew them, you would give me a chance. They have crushes and things that they want, and they find a way to live real lives. Becca's so strong. She did some crazy shit to protect Agness.
There you go.
Hulda doesn't have a mean
There
bone in
you
her
go.
body, and Shinamite, she'd cut a bitch to defend her friends. Agness, is she your age? Yeah, Agness Mackenzie.
Oh my god.
She's yours. She's the one you left behind.
Come on, June. You know she's right.
What's she like?
What's she like?
She's one of the bravest people I've ever met. She's beautiful and kind. She thinks she's funny, but she's not so much. Just a really good person. The one that we all want to be like, you know? Is she happy? She could be. They all could be. I can do this. You know I can. Fuck it. You knew it even before I did. No, Daisy, I'm sorry. But I am not gonna risk another one. I might fail, and I might even die. But it's my choice.
Come on.
You need to learn to believe in someone other than yourself, June.
Yes, you do. She definitely needed somebody to tell her that a few times.
First of all, you have no idea who I am or what I have been through. Young lady, do you understand me? Second of all, I am gonna need you to stay safe. All right?
I don't think I can.
Fine. May God protect you.
I think she will.
So then the question is, does that mean he actually knows who June is? Or is it just Mayday knows who freaking sent her over there, or June needs to come and get her or whatever? I don't know, but...
Have you come to gloat?
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry.
With such a monumental failure, the reputation of the school is soon to be brought into question. You'll have no trouble pushing me out.
You never liked me. even before.
Everything came so easily to you. Some of us had to fight for our place.
You were willing to kill me in that stadium. Is that what you call fighting for your place? You have no idea how things came to me. You never asked.
Well, we'd like to hear.
You don't have to be alone,
I
Wolf.
definitely want more backstory from everybody. I want everybody's backstory. Just tell me everything. I know they're not going to this episode, but...
We could work together.
Why would I want to do that?
For Becca. Oh. I was reminded today that we are God's instruments. We mustn't be like the man stranded, waiting for God to save him.
Oh, shit.
This appears to be the school. Don't be an asshole. Do not be an asshole.
Leave the code in the van. Let's go.
He smokes like a fucking chimney. But I get it. When I smoked, if I was stressed out, I smoked a lot more.
Whoa. They know you're missing. Take a drive.
Have you lost your fucking
For once, will you
mind?
just do what I tell you to do? Trust me. This is your best shot. Hey, I got her! Give me that.
Smoking is an evil habit, but I know from personal experience it's a hard habit to break.
Sorry, Aunt Lydia.
We expect Pearl girls to have a period of adjustment, but you have been here long enough. You know the rules by now. You will go to corrections with Aunt Este. She is waiting for you outside.
Observe, pay attention, use the surroundings and what's going on.
I was worried about Becca. That's why I couldn't sleep.
Becca is my concern.
But I was the one who exposed Dr. Grove.
I think it's good you feel the weight of responsibility. I feel that for all of you.
Really? So do something about it.
I have always strived to be a mother to God's lost children.
Mothers would do anything for their children. I know some mothers whose only reason for living is to save their daughters. Mothers who would die for them. What are you doing to save Becca?
Have a graceful day.
Come on, Lydia. She doesn't like being called out. She does not like being called into question. I think she is very much a narcissist. I also think she is trying to take this shit down.
Commander Weston got special dispensation for us to visit.
Becca will get through this. She just needs to tell them the truth. Let's go over the events, dear. You went upstairs to find your mother standing over the bathtub with the pruning shears.
That's why they're calling it Secateurs. Oh!
What? You discovered that your mother had killed your father. You tried to resuscitate him. That's how you got his blood on you. It was too late.
No, that is not what happened. It's what should have happened. But they already know. They
will
know
accept this new testimony along with your mother's confession. They know you would have said anything to protect her, for the bond between mother and child is sacred and unbreakable.
Come on, Becca. Come on. I know it's hard. I know. But they're not gonna let everybody get away. They are going to fucking make somebody pay.
Let us pray. The Lord is my light and my salvation, the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies who will stumble.
Could Lydia try to find a way to get her out of there? I mean, I doubt it.
Agness. I received a call from Commander Weston this afternoon. He's decided to break off your engagement.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen.
He said it was because of your close ties with the Grove scandal and needing to distance himself.
Thank God.
It struck me as a lot of nonsense. Do you have any idea why?
No.
If I had any recourse, I'd take some accountability.
Dad, what's gonna happen?
I'll do everything in my power to prevent this from hurting you.
That's not.
And what about Becca?
Becca's going to be okay.
She is. How?
Her mother gave a statement. She's the one who killed Dr. Grove, not Becca.
Oh, that came fast. Oh. The consequences. This is the Paula scene. She's like scrubbing the bathroom or something. Like, why is she scrubbing the bathroom? They have Martha's, like, she's been doing all kinds of shit that the Marthas are supposed to do. So what the hell is going on?
Are you happy now?
I'm not.
Good. No one gets to be happy then?
What are you doing, bitch?
I don't think I deserve this, Agness. I really don't.
What?
I helped you every single way. I taught you everything I know.
Is she dreaming this?
What did you do to scare him off?
Oh, fucking...
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Men don't leave for no reason.
Really, Paula?
Your friend got sucked under the quicksand.
Becca's been spared.
Spared?
Is this real or a dream?
What life will she have? She's fallen. Sullied too, probably.
Might be a dream.
Who would even have her now?
What about Garth?
He'd be a fool to not take the out.
Well, he'd be a complete asshole.
I should have known. This would happen. From sinful beginning comes a sinful nature. After that handmaid attack, Gilead wanted to make her pay. They wanted to serve you up piece by piece. Do you understand? Send her a toe, a finger. But your father wouldn't allow it to happen.
I keep thinking it's gotta be a dream, but seeing how Paula is sometimes, it wouldn't be surprising to me if it's not at all a dream. Oh my God. Okay, so this is Daisy, and she's over where the Guardians are at. Oh, is it? Is it Daisy? No, it's Agness. Okay.
Have you lost your mind?
Don't let her be a fallen woman. Marry Becca.
I don't think I can do that, given the circumstances.
I think you can.
You're a man. You can do anything you want. I've thrown my whole life away to help Becca. Now it's your turn.
Come on, jackass.
People wouldn't understand why I did it.
But I would. Do you know how hard it is for me to ask you, of all people? Please.
Come on, kid. Sometimes you gotta have the balls to do the right thing, even when it scares the shit out of you.
I know, but this is best. All this unpleasantness will be behind you, I promise.
Soon as you're married, you'll have God and a husband to protect you.
Please, please.
What is happening? What is happening? Are they just like forcing the marriage now so that it is less likely to be stopped? Or are they forcing a marriage? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Get her out of there. Send her to Canada. Send her in a paddy wagon. Out of Gilead. Come on. Oh, Lordy be.
Everything is gonna be okay.
Is it? She definitely needs help. And
I know, because you're here.
not just this kind of help, but mental help. Well. Alright, don't get yourselves caught. Not here, please. Aww. But yeah, as long as she's in Gilead, she ain't likely to get any real mental help.
In accordance with the divine laws of Gilead, I hereby bestow upon you, Garth Jacob, the title and the responsibility of commander.
Thank you, sir.
The accused stands convicted of murder. Violation of Matthew chapter 5, verse 21 by his word. In the name of God and his servants here on earth, she is hereby sentenced to the common mercy of the state.
She's like so drugged up.
May God bless this union. May he make it fruitful. Guided by the sacred laws of matrimony, may you serve him. May you serve the great nation of Gilead, and may you serve one another. Under his eye, I now pronounce you man and wife.
How do you feel?
Well, it's done. They're married.
This is done.
I was always so scared I would mess up my life, and now I have. Paula was right. I ruined everything.
Did you?
Sorry. Don't be. It was worth it.
Yes.
You've got a rather overdeveloped sense of justice. Do you know where that comes from?
No.
I do. You're exactly like her.
Oh no.
Who?
Your mother. June Osborne.
The terrorist? Why would you say that? Why would you say something like that?
She isn't a terrorist. She fights for what she believes in, just like you do.
How would you know?
I met her once.
Twice. 3 times a lady.
Your mother wasn't just a handmaid. She was the handmaid.
I don't believe you.
I think your name is Hannah.
Come on, Agness. Search the recesses of that brain of yours. I know it's in there somewhere. Come on, come on. Is that gonna be no, it's not the end yet. houses. Like, all these Gilead houses, in a way, are like so nice, but they're also so creepy. How are y'all gonna do this? He just locked her in. I don't like that. Ignore Paula. She doesn't deserve your attention.
Dear June, you probably think I'm nuts. Maybe I am. Being here has changed me. I know you think I don't listen, but I heard you.
Agness Mackenzie, we find ourselves in uncharted waters. Your broken engagement is a mark against you, I'm afraid. We have some hurdles to overcome.
Including my lineage, Aunt Lydia. My mother is June Osborne, the criminal.
I knew your mother quite well, actually. One thing I can say about her is that she never gave up, and neither will we.
These girls are stronger than you think. Maybe God made them that way, or maybe they just came out that way, strong as hell. But I'm gonna do what Mayday couldn't. I'm going to destroy Gilead with what it values most. I'm gonna create my own army, because nothing can be more powerful than a teenage girl.
Are we gonna finally see baby Nichole, who should be like 5 or 6 years old or something like that? Maybe 7. I think 6. Or are they just gonna say that one of those was baby Nichole, but they're not gonna show more than that? Okay, I'm going to say some spoilers, and I'll leave you the timestamps to see how long you need to wait if you want to get by them. This is book spoilers from the Testaments. Becca on the book, she did not have that relationship with her mom. Like, her mom had, even at one point, called out the fact that she had been born from a handmaid and used it against her to devalue her and shit like that. Yeah, and she doesn't murder her dad. She tries to kill herself. I definitely feel like Garth needed to be called out like that, like just like Daisy did. He may intend to help them and everything, but good intentions don't always go as planned. And when you refuse to fucking step up and do the hard thing and stick your neck out when shit is dangerous and shit is hard and it might look bad on you. Like, how far are you really gonna get? I had the same problem with Nick. He would only stick his neck out for June. He would stick his neck out like crazy for June, but for anybody else, he wouldn't stick his neck out at all. And I had a huge problem with him for that. Yeah. And then we saw what happened to him at the end, but I feel like that's because Nick's always been just another weak man. Like, Fred was a weak man. Nick was also a weak man, just in different ways. He was willing to be strong, but only when it came to June and no other time. So that's just how I felt. I do feel like this episode, it started off pretty freaking slow and it was getting frustrating. But I do feel like that second half it picked up and they covered a lot of ground. They, in my opinion, did a good job at laying the pathway for the coming season. I do not know how long it's going to be before we get a season 2. I don't think it'll be as long as it was between Handmaids and this first season of Testaments. But I do worry that almost every show that I watch in the last several years has been like just really long gaps between seasons. There's always one excuse or another. Granted, I know fucking COVID put a big monkey wrench in all the fucking TV seasons and shit that were out there. And then having the protests and shit like that, that messed things up too. But it seems like there's always some reason, there's always some excuse for these seasons. I remember when TV shows would go like, you wouldn't even have a whole year. You'd have like a part of the year and then they'd be off to the next season. You'd have multiple parts in a season. So you'd get like half the season, then you'd have a small break, and then you'd have the other half of the season. A few months later, you've got another season coming. And that doesn't seem to be happening with hardly anything anymore. Bigger, more important productions that are not like really fast cartoons and TV sitcoms and stuff like that seem to all be having really long gaps between them. I'm hoping it's less than a year, honestly, but I'm not going to be at all surprised if it's at least a year. Just hopefully not more than a year, because really, we don't need to keep having these massive freaking breaks between every decent series that there is. Hate it. But I really liked that. And I did like the season. They did change a lot of stuff from the books. I agree. Some of the stuff they changed to me doesn't make sense, but my ideas of how to fix them would have also taken longer, and then you run the risk of something not getting renewed. I've seen too many shows that everybody I knew really, really liked them, and then they didn't get renewed for a second season or a third season. That gets aggravating, and it is a big concern. If they ended the season like at the point that, say, Daisy was coming to Gilead and Agness was just starting her period and then decided not to renew, like, how bad would that be? Because that was my idea, was have the whole first season, this stuff with Tabitha, with Daisy losing her family, with Gilead trying to find her and all of that. And they could have easily done that stuff in a full season, in my opinion. Like, I could imagine them doing a season finale where Daisy had been a Pearl, had gotten to Gilead, but she'd been getting in all this trouble, and Aunt Lydia had just decided to pair her up with Agness. So then the last episode would have been like the first episode that we had or something like that. I'm okay with what they're doing so far. I know it is changing a lot. I know people are confused about the timelines. I know people wonder who is Garth, who is Daisy, who were their real parents. Is there a possibility that their parents were somebody that we met in Handmaid's Tale, or some commander that we are seeing now, or anything like that? Don't know, but I'm okay with it. I was not happy about them changing Daisy from being baby Nichole for a while, but I'm okay with it now. And I think she's doing a good job. And yeah, She is a hothead and she's messy and she is so much like June. So much like June. But I don't care. I like that kind of character. Even though June could do some really freaking awful shit. Be very, very self-centered. Very, very single-minded. Focused on one thing and don't care like what happens with all the collateral damage. There's a lot of things about June that remind me of myself, and for that reason I like her. I mean, I like characters like that a lot. I liked Rhaenyra on House of the Dragon, and people complained about teenage Rhaenyra. I thought teenage Rhaenyra was awesome. People complained about June, and I liked June. I don't like everything about June, but there's a lot of things about June that I do like. And people complain about Daisy, and I like Daisy, because some of us are messy fucking people. We do things that don't always make sense, and sometimes cause harm, and sometimes make a fucking mess. But we do it with passion. We do it because we love. We do it because we care, even if it isn't always the right thing. And hopefully, Daisy, we learn from our mistakes and do better. And I think Daisy is learning. It's going to take a while, but I think she is learning and she is getting better. Anyway, that is all I got for you for now. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.
Is there more?
We'll just have to tune in next week to find out, won't we?
And remember, if you like this content, please click the thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, click subscribe. Ring that little bell and click all, and you'll get more notifications anytime new content comes out.